Welcome to the O'Brien Site Safety Orientation. We're excited to have you here today, whether you're a longstanding member of our team or joining us for the first time as an employee or subcontractor. Your presence is vital to the work we do, and we're so grateful for your dedication and contributions. Let's get started. At O'Brien, safety isn't just a policy. It's a promise we make to each other every single day. We believe that every team member deserves to work in an environment where they feel secure and supported. That's why our number one priority is your well-being. Our goal is simple. We want everyone who steps onto our work sites to go home each day feeling just as strong, healthy, and valued as when they arrived, if not better. Together, we can ensure that safety is more than a practice. It's a culture that defines who we are and how we work. This orientation is designed to empower you with the essential safety policies and procedures that are at the heart of everything we do. By following these guidelines, we can protect not only ourselves, but also our teammates and the overall safety of our work environment. Together, we can create a workplace where safety is second nature. During this session, we will cover O'Brien safety policies and key protocols, training and documentation requirements, reporting hazards or incidents, your role in site safety. By embracing these policies and procedures, you're not just following rules, you're contributing to a team-wide commitment to safety, well-being, and success. Let's work together to make safety our strongest foundation. Upon completing the O'Brien Annual Safety Orientation, you will receive a color-coded hard hat sticker unique to the current year. This sticker is a badge of your dedication to maintaining a safe work environment. To further personalize it, the month of your orientation completion will be marked either with a Sharpie or a hole punch. This ensures a clear record of your participation and your ongoing commitment to our safety standards. Your annual safety orientation will take place every year on your anniversary date. This allows us to stay aligned, refreshed, and proactive about safety, ensuring we all continue to work together in a safe and supportive environment. It's important that you fully understand the information shared in this orientation. These safety policies and procedures are in place to protect you, your coworkers, and the entire work environment. If you have any questions or need clarification, don't hesitate to ask. Your understanding is our priority. This orientation is an opportunity for us all to align on safety expectations. It also serves as your first reminder of the importance of adhering to these guidelines. In the event of a policy or procedure violation, you'll be asked to participate in a reorientation to reinforce these critical standards. A notification will also be sent to your employer so we can collaborate on moving forward. In some cases, you may be asked to temporarily leave the site for the rest of the day or until the issue has been addressed. This step ensures everyone on site remains safe while we work together to resolve the concern. Our goal is to ensure every team member feels supported in maintaining a safe and productive environment. Before you arrive on site, ensure you're fully prepared with all the required personal protective equipment to stay safe and compliant. This includes a hard hat, high visibility clothing, shirt, vest, or jacket, safety boots, protective eyewear, gloves. Having the right gear is the first step toward a safe and productive day. When you arrive on site, follow these essential steps before starting work. Sign in and out. Make sure to include your phone number for accountability and communication. Complete the JHA. Fill out the job hazard analysis. Conduct a tailgate meeting with your crew. Ensure everyone on the team is listed on the JHA and submit it to the superintendent. Only after these steps are complete can you begin working. These procedures ensure everyone is aligned and ready to operate safely. There's nothing more critical to ensuring your safety and the safety of your crew than starting each day with the job hazard analysis. This essential step sets the tone for a safe, productive, and organized workday. Why the JHA matters. The JHA is more than a formality. It's a powerful tool with multiple purposes. Hazard identification and mitigation, pinpoint potential risks, and implement solutions before work begins. Communication. Create clear and open dialogue within your crew to ensure everyone is on the same page. Organization. Lay out a structured plan for the day, reducing confusion and improving efficiency. Education. Empower everyone with the knowledge they need to recognize and address hazards confidently. By completing the JHA, you're making a proactive commitment to safety and teamwork. Together, we can achieve a zero-incident worksite. A JHA focuses on identifying hazards in job tasks before they occur. It evaluates the relationship between the worker, the task, the tools, and the environment. Once hazards are identified, steps are outlined to eliminate or control them, ensuring a safer workspace. Involve the whole team. Collaboration is key to a successful JHA. Each crew member brings unique insights, helping to identify hazards that might otherwise be overlooked. Involving everyone promotes a thorough analysis and fosters shared ownership of safety solutions, encouraging team commitment to a safer workplace. When completing the JHA, conduct a preliminary job review. Discuss with your crew the hazards they know exist in their current work and surroundings. Brainstorm with them for ideas to eliminate or control those hazards. Outline the steps or tasks for the day and fill out the sequence of job steps along the left side of the JHA. Be sure to record enough information to describe each job action without getting overly detailed. Review these job steps with everyone to make sure you have not missed a step. The list of job steps is also a communication tool that allows the superintendent to be aware of what you're working on for the day. Identifying the potential or existing hazards associated with each job step is the next step in the JHA process. For each job step, utilize everyone on the crew to identify all of the associated hazards and enter them in the potential hazards column. If you have identified more potential or existing hazards than can fit in the field, you can continue in the box below. The next step is to identify the practices to use to avoid or control the identified hazards and list them in the safety controls to reduce or eliminate hazard, including PPE. For example, continuing the framing job step would look like this. When you've identified a hazard, the next step is figuring out how to control or eliminate it. One helpful approach is the hierarchy of controls, which provides steps to minimize risk. If you can't completely remove the hazard, here's how you can address it in order of effectiveness. Substitution. Swap out the hazard for a safer alternative. Engineering controls. Add physical barriers like guards or interlocks to separate you from the hazard. Administrative controls. Adjust how the work is done to reduce exposure to the hazard. PPE or personal protective equipment. Use gear like gloves, goggles, or hard hats as your final layer of protection. The goal is always to use the most effective solution possible, starting at the top of the hierarchy. Continue the list of job tasks for the day along in the left column, then identify the potential and existing hazards for each task in the center column. Then the controls for eliminating or controlling the associated hazards in the right column. Then have everyone on the crew read and sign the JHA. Please note that basic PPE is already in effect and should be worn while working on site, such as hard hats, high visibility clothing, safety boots, and safety glasses. Let's talk about personal protective equipment, or PPE, and the responsibilities we all share to ensure it's used properly. First, it's the employer's responsibility to provide all required PPE to their employees. That means you should always have access to the gear you need to stay safe. Now, let's cover the minimum PPE requirements while working on site. At all times, you must wear a hard hat, safety glasses, protective footwear, and high visibility clothing. One quick note on footwear: tennis shoes are not allowed on O'Brien projects except for roofing tasks. If you need to wear soft-soled shoes for roofing, make sure to note it on your JHA before beginning work. In addition to the basics, you may need extra PPE like hearing protection, a face shield, or gloves, depending on the task. Make sure you're aware of what's required for your specific job. If you arrive on site without the proper PPE, you will either be sent off-site until you have the required equipment, or, if available, O'Brien will provide PPE and the sub will be charged for it. It's not enough to just have the equipment. It needs to be in good shape. All PPE must be clean, safe, and reliable. Inspect your equipment before wearing it to ensure it's in good condition. One more important note: if you're wearing a hard hat, remember to connect the chin strap when you leave the ground. That includes tasks like working on ladders, lifts, or roofs. By following these guidelines, we're ensuring a safer work environment for everyone. If you have any questions about your PPE or what's required for a task, don't hesitate to ask your supervisor. Keeping your work area clean is a simple but essential part of maintaining a safe and efficient job site. By cleaning as you go, rather than waiting until the end of the day or even the week, you help create a safer environment for everyone. Take a look at the images here. They highlight examples of poor housekeeping, which can result in hazards like slips, trips, and falls. Beyond safety risks, poor housekeeping can also lower team morale, reduce efficiency, and even lead to fire hazards or damage to equipment and materials. If you leave an area in an unsafe or unclean condition, O'Brien will take steps to clean it, and the cost of that cleanup will be charged to your company. In addition, your company's owner will be notified. We can avoid all of this by staying proactive. Good housekeeping is everyone's responsibility, and it helps us work smarter, stay safe, and maintain a job site we can all be proud of. Remember, a clean site is a safe site. When working at heights, 100% fall protection with the rescue plan is required at all times. Here's what you need to know. In Oregon, fall protection is required for heights of 6 feet or greater. In Washington, the requirement starts at 4 feet or greater. Each employer must provide a competent person on site at all times to oversee fall protection measures. If any fall protection equipment is deemed unsafe, it will be removed or destroyed at the discretion of the superintendent or director of safety. Every employee wearing personal fall protection must be properly trained. This includes understanding the purpose of fall protection equipment, inspecting it before use, knowing how to wear it correctly, storing it properly. You may be asked to provide proof of your fall protection training at any time. Failure to do so will result in removal from the site until proof is provided. Violating the fall protection policy is taken very seriously. A first-time violation can result in immediate and possibly permanent dismissal from O'Brien projects. Why such strict enforcement? Falls from heights are the #1 cause of fatalities in the construction industry. Protecting you and your coworkers is our top priority, and this policy is designed to ensure everyone goes home safe at the end of the day. Whenever possible when working at heights, we prefer passive fall protection, such as guardrails. Guardrails must be 42 inches high, plus or minus 3 inches. They must include a mid-rail and toe board for full protection. Fall protection is mandatory in the form of guardrails or a personal fall arrest system with the use of an anchor, body harness, or a lanyard. Controlled access zones with warning lines are not allowed on O'Brien projects. These measures are essential for ensuring everyone's safety while working at heights. Let's talk about ladder safety, one of the most important aspects of working safely on a construction site. Following these simple guidelines can prevent accidents and keep everyone safe. Always face the ladder. Whenever you're climbing or descending, always face the ladder and maintain 3 points of contact. This means 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand, should always be in contact with the ladder. Use the belt buckle rule. Remember the belt buckle rule, do not overreach. Keep your belt buckle within the sides of the ladder to maintain balance and avoid tipping it over. Secure the ladder. Ladders must be secured at both the top and the bottom to prevent movement while in use. Extension ladders. When using an extension ladder, ensure that it extends at least 3 feet above the landing it provides access to. This gives you a secure area to step off and on safely. Make sure to have the correct ladder angle, the 4-to-1 method. To set the ladder at the correct angle, use the 4-to-1 method. For every 4 feet of height, place the base of the ladder 1 foot away from the wall or structure. To test the angle, place your toes at the bottom of the ladder. With your hands outstretched, you should be able to reach a rung comfortably without bending your arms or leaning forward. Inspect the ladder before use. Before using a ladder, inspect it for cracks, damaged rungs, or rails, missing screws or rivets. If you find any damage, do not use the ladder. Check labels. Ensure that all labels are present and legible. These labels often include important safety information and warnings. Now, let's discuss the proper use and safety guidelines for stepladders. Adhering to these rules is essential for preventing injuries and ensuring a safe work environment. A stepladder must never be used to access another level or surface. Always remember, a stepladder is considered a working platform, not a tool for climbing between heights. The top step and cap of a stepladder should never be used as a step. Using these areas compromises your balance and safety. Ensure the spreader bars are fully extended and locked into place before using the stepladder. This provides stability and prevents the ladder from collapsing. Before using the stepladder, inspect it carefully for any signs of damage. Look for cracks, damaged rungs, or rails. Check for missing screws or rivets. Do not use a ladder that is damaged in any way. All 4 feet of the stepladder must be firmly on the ground. Avoid placing the ladder on uneven or slippery surfaces. Always face the ladder while climbing and maintain 3 points of contact. This means having 2 hands and 1 foot or 2 feet and 1 hand on the ladder at all times. Follow the belt buckle rule. Keep your belt buckle centered between the ladder rails. Do not overreach or lean too far to either side. Ensure all labels on the ladder are present and legible. They provide important safety information and instructions. Following these stepladder safety guidelines will help you work safely and efficiently. If you encounter any issues with the ladder, report them immediately to your supervisor. Ladders are a key tool on our job sites, and using them properly is essential for safety. Now let's talk about lean-safe ladders and the important rules to follow to prevent accidents. First, remember that a lean-safe ladder is still considered a stepladder. That means it should never be used to access another level or surface. Instead, it is designed as a working platform for tasks at height. To ensure your safety, follow these best practices when using a lean-safe ladder. Stay off the top 2 steps. They are not designed for standing. Keep all 4 feet on the ground when using it as a stepladder. Inspect before use. Look for any damage or wear before climbing. Always face the ladder while working to maintain stability. Use 3 points of contact at all times for balance and security. Follow the belt buckle rule. Never overreach beyond the ladder's side rails. By following these simple but essential steps, we can keep our work sites safer and prevent falls. Power tools are essential for getting the job done, but using them safely is just as important as using them efficiently. By following a few key safety rules, we can protect ourselves, our coworkers, and our job site from preventable accidents. All power tools must have proper working guards. They are there to protect you. Saw guards must remain in place and should never be pinned back. The ground plug must never be cut off and should only be repaired using original manufacturer's replacement parts. If a power cord is damaged, it can create serious risks. The entire pigtail must be replaced by a certified electrician. If a tool is damaged, defective, or unsafe, it must be removed from the site immediately. No exceptions. When operating power tools, gloves and safety glasses must be worn at all times. By taking these simple precautions, we can keep our tools in top shape and our work site safe. Electricity is a powerful tool on our job sites, but improper use of cords can create serious hazards. By following a few simple guidelines, we can ensure a safe and efficient work environment for everyone. Best practice is to always inspect and maintain your cords and read the labels. Extension cords cannot be connected together or daisy-chained. Always use a cord of the correct length to avoid overload and fire hazards. Damaged or modified cords are a risk to everyone. They must not be used on the site. All power for construction must be protected by a GFCI branch circuit. This prevents electrical shocks and ensures compliance with safety standards. Cords should never be mounted with nails or staples as they can pierce the insulation and create a fire or shock hazard. Instead, use zip ties, insulated staples, or other non-metallic fasteners. If an extension cord is deemed unsafe, it will either be removed from the site or destroyed at the discretion of the superintendent or director of safety. By following these best practices, we can prevent accidents, protect our equipment, and keep our job site running smoothly. Scaffolding is an essential tool for working at heights, but it must be properly inspected, maintained, and used correctly to keep everyone safe. Let's review some key scaffolding safety guidelines to ensure a safe and productive job site. A competent person from the subcontractor must inspect and certify all erected or mobile scaffolding at the start of each shift. A green inspection tag must be attached to the scaffolding. It should be placed within eyesight of the ladder leading to the next level and must be filled out daily. Training is required. Every worker using scaffolding must be trained in scaffolding safety. Never overload scaffolding planking. Exceeding weight limits can compromise structural integrity and cause collapse. Use only approved scaffolding components. Makeshift or non-standard parts can lead to instability. Follow the manufacturer's instructions. Proper setup and use ensure scaffolding remains safe. Inspect before use. Check to see if any scaffolding components are damaged. Proper planking must be in good condition and pushed together to eliminate any gaps. Any concerns or modifications should be immediately reported to the O'Brien superintendent for review. Never use unstable objects like bricks or boxes to support scaffolding. And never walk under scaffolding. Base plates must be centered on a mudsill and secured on two opposing sides for a firm foundation. Use guardrails, handrails, tow boards, or debris nets to protect against falling objects. If a guardrail is not present, you must wear a personal fall arrest system. Use catch platforms or canopy structures to deflect falling objects and keep workers below safe. Install netting to catch anything that falls, preventing hazards to workers and bystanders. By following these scaffolding safety guidelines, we reduce risks, prevent falls, and ensure a secure work environment for everyone. Now let's review the essential basic safety rules that apply to every job site. These guidelines are in place to protect you, your coworkers, and the integrity of our projects. Weapons and violence. Safety starts with respect. Weapons and any form of violence are strictly prohibited on our job sites. If you see any threatening behavior, report it immediately. We foster a culture of teamwork and professionalism, and there is no room for hostility. Music and earbuds. We all enjoy music, but on a job site, communication is key. Earbuds are not allowed. Music should never interfere with communication, and superintendents reserve the right to ban music completely if it becomes a distraction. If you need to hear instructions, warnings, or signals, you must be fully aware of your surroundings at all times. Dress code. Your safety starts with what you wear. The following attire is not allowed: sweatpants, tank tops, shorts, torn or tattered clothing. Wearing proper work attire helps protect you from hazards, debris, and potential injuries. Ensure you dress appropriately for the job and wear all required PPE, personal protective equipment. Fuel storage. If you work with fuel cans, they must be made of metal, properly labeled, equipped with a spark flame arrestor. Improper storage or handling of fuel can create dangerous conditions, including fires or explosions. Always follow the correct procedures. Storing hazardous materials. Any hazardous material must be stored properly and accompanied by a safety data sheet, SDS. The SDS provides critical information on handling exposure risks and emergency procedures. If you're ever unsure about a material, ask a supervisor or consult the SDS before use. Hot work safety. Any hot work, such as welding, cutting, or grinding, requires a permit every day. Hot work is performed. Documentation on the job hazard analysis. A mandatory fire watch that remains for at least 1 hour after work is completed. Fire hazards can arise long after the work is done, which is why the fire watch is so important. Never leave an area unattended if hot work has just been performed. Fire safety and fire extinguishers. Fire safety is everyone's responsibility. Fire extinguishers must be within 50 feet of all flammable materials. The maximum travel distance to a fire extinguisher must not exceed 75 feet. Fire extinguishers must always be readily available, visible, and unobstructed. Know where the nearest fire extinguisher is at all times. If you ever need one, every second counts. Accidents and incident reporting. No matter how small an injury may seem, report all accidents and injuries to the project superintendent immediately. Delaying reports can put others at risk and prevent proper documentation. Quick action can prevent minor issues from becoming major problems. Thank you for attending the O'Brien Site Safety Orientation. Safety is a shared responsibility. It requires vigilance, cooperation, and a proactive approach from everyone. By adhering to these safety measures, you contribute to creating a work environment where we can all perform our best without compromising our health or safety. We encourage you to actively participate, ask questions, and voice any concerns you may have. Together, we can foster a culture of safety and ensure that our work sites remain secure for everyone. Now go out there and have a great and safe day.